Hiya good people, it is Mimo here and I am back for the Act 2 of this Telltale Part 1. Now, we're just going through with Pete and Michonne right now. Looks like they're going the mob, Jack, and Michonne's got a few ghosts there with her kids. Now, the line-up here has changed a slight bit since Act 1, and that's purely because I actually sold my 3-star Michonne and also the 3-star Negan that we got, just purely because I didn't have enough room in my roster, so I had to make that bit of extra space during the level up tournament and a few other things. So what I basically did in there was I threw in a Laurie and also a Connor to replace those two. Got the same team in regards to it's led by Rick there with a plus 12 crit. Also gives a small bonus to drop rate chances. Not got him for that reason, purely got him in there for the plus 12 crit. And then I thought I'd bring in Laurie, who is a big favourite of a lot of people out there, the 4-star alert one. She's definitely a nice little 4-star to be having. And then also brought in Connor just purely because Connor has a plus 35 crit rush, so I thought if getting that extra 5 crit that Rick can't do, it will be good if I run into a few, I guess, harder stages here in regards to zombies and need that. Basically got the same 5-star Michonne and also that Governor, which you get from the prestige points, so they're 2 prestige players I did keep in the team, but the rest I've brought in. Unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't hold on to those 3 stars. I just need the room in my roster, so I did have to can them, and so I did change my team up with these guys a bit, but probably a good thing in a way. Strengthening them with Laurie and also that Connor there, who not only I really am a fan of his rush. Not only does he give the plus 35 crit, but he also, when he uses his rush, he actually does a bit of damage when he hits them, so it's a nice little double bonus there. He's not only a ground area attack rush there, but also an actual impact attack, so it's really nice, his rush. These guys are getting through it fairly comfortably. As you can see, I'm already starting to use Connor's rush and Rick's if it's not recharged enough, just purely because these guys in the first act definitely had with the plus 12 crit, had enough crit there. In the second act, the zombies are coming up on them a lot quicker and then missing the headshots a bit more, which basically means you need a higher amount of crit, so that's why those rushes come in handy of both Rick with the plus 30 and Connor with the plus 35. If you do not have a character that has a rush with crit, the only way to get around it if you have a low crit leader like Rick here, and by low, like 12 crit is still a solid amount of crit and it's still better than a lot of people do give out. But most people are running, plus 24 crit leaders. Some have the big plus 36 leaders and things like that. So they're getting this high boost of crit from their leaders. If you're not one of them people that actually has this high boost leader, and you've got someone like Andrea who's plus 8, the 3-star Andrea is plus 8, or Glenn, you also have the Ricks that are plus 12 and a few other characters that also have plus 12. Then basically what you want to do if you're unable to bring in a character like a Connor who has a crit rush or anything like that, then you're going to have to start using your battle items in regards to your sharpshooters and your nitric oxide, which gives you the plus 20 crit. You're going to have to use those if you're not got a very high team grade and you are struggling with that crit. Most people can get through these stages fairly comfortably. Like I say, I tend to change up my teams a bit for you just so you can see the different varieties of players I have them. I go from high grade teams to lower grade teams just to sort of satisfy all those little curiosities you have in regards to my roster and I guess the team formations and things like that. I think by doing that, it probably is keeping things a bit interesting rather than having my S1++ team come in and just slaughter their way through it. I think that's a bit boring and it's nice to mix it up. Not only is it fun for me because it sort of tests me, but it's also, I think, good for you guys to watch and sort of see the different ways you can use a team and the different formations you can have and how effective they can actually be. Now, in regards to when you can actually choose an ally from your faction. It's really nice. I know a lot of my guys have Ezekiel and a few other medium boosters, but also crit leaders. Ezekiel is a very great leader that we won from war, and a lot of my guys do actually keep him, even though they're probably, they're sacrificing a stronger defense team in order to give their faction members, that boost. So it is really actually very generous for those guys to be putting Zeke up there. And as you see here, I'm using him, and he gives that plus 24 crit to melee. So, he's given that extra boost. So I always say, if you are struggling with crit, or if you, want to fly through these stages a bit easier, if you can have faction leaders or faction members that actually have crit leader skills, it's always great. If they have medium boosters like Ezekiel does, even better. You might get a nice drop somewhere in there. But definitely, if you are struggling in this early act or act 2 here, it is an A+ team grade, so it's not overly high, but it's not particularly low, so people can still struggle with these lower team grades in regards to A. A+ isn't a bad team, but there's still a fair few grades above it, but there's still going to be a lot of people out there that may struggle, whether it be with the people or the zombies. Just remember that you've got to slightly change your team in regards to what you're facing. With zombies, it's very much a crit orientated hit out. You just got to maximise your crit as much as possible. That means weapons, leader, also crit rushes if you can, and also, like I said, them allies when you can choose them. As you see, Michonne went down there. We will revive her. With this 3-star system coming in, it becomes more important to try and keep your players alive, just so you can get that extra XP. And that's really all it's good for, is that bit of extra XP, which is pretty nice most times. So we're going to try and keep these guys alive. That's why smelling salts are absolutely amazing. Big thumbs up from me for the smelling salts. But these first 5 stages have definitely been zombies, so get your zombie team ready, get it all sorted, get those battle items ready, and get ready to hit this out. As always, if you are struggling anyway, and I'm not sort of answering any questions that you have in this video, feel free to ask them. I'm more than happy to answer them. And I'm always here to answer questions, always try to be here when I'm not working and things like that. So ask questions if you're struggling with anything, and I'll see how we can help you out. But hopefully you should be getting flying through these early stages. And if you're not, not everyone can have high grade teams, so don't worry about it too much. So we'll continue on up to the 6th stage now. These guys are doing perfectly good. It definitely, it's always funny when going from my regular farming team or the regular zombie team I use to actually coming down to these different formations, just purely because my regular zombie team I have a plus 36 crit or plus 24 crit leader, so I have this massive amount of boost of crit, and then I have these big crit rushes, which Connor is one of the better ones. You can actually get Earl, I believe it is, who has the plus 55, which is that is just an epic amount of crit. If anyone does have him, you should never ever have a problem with zombies. That boosted by a leader skill, even at 24, is pretty deadly, and then you put weapons on top, you could get an astonishing amount of crit with that plus 55. Also, maybe possibly be wary that there are barriers within these stages, so if you don't feel comfortable with the amount of crit you are actually getting, possibly maybe try and bring in more ranged characters and only a few melees. As you see here, I've got the majority ranged characters and only 2 melees in there, which are the 2 Michonnes. So if you are struggling with that crit, it is a much better, I think, chance for you to get through these stages and to sort of headshot and get those zombies out of the way with a ranged team, because sometimes they can all filter through at once, and if you just don't have those headshots going, it can really make you struggle. As you see, they're sort of taking gradual big moves into you, so definitely make sure you're taken that into consideration in regards to if you don't feel comfortable with zombies. I know not everyone feels comfortable with zombies, so just make sure you take all those little things into consideration, and hopefully it should be enough to get you through these first 6 stages and on to the next ones. As always, thank you for watching.